Hi TreeHouse supporters, and welcome back to our second episode in our Ask a Rehabber series where we answer your wildlife questions. Now remember, you can ask us any type of wildlife or environmental related question by coming to the center and utilizing this box, which is found in the foyer, and there are forms next to it. You can fill it out, stick it in there. If you can't come to the center, then you can go ahead and go on our website at www.treehousewildlifecenter.com and just click on the education tab. There's an online form for you to fill out there. It gets sent to us and we'll go ahead and answer it. Now, we hope you learned a lot in our first episode, which highlighted lead poisoning in wildlife, and we think you're going to learn a lot in today's episode. So today we're actually going to answer two questions, and so we'll go ahead and answer the first one right now. So our first question today comes from someone named Jordan, and he or she asks, how do you get the animals you do? That is a great question, Jordan, and I think today we're going to go into a little bit more in depth on how we get the animals we do and how you should bring those animals to us.
TreeHouse Wildlife Center provides a legal and professional community service to people in central and southwestern Illinois who encounter sick, injured, and orphaned wildlife. Many of the cases that we see are anthropogenic, meaning that humans in some way or another have negatively contributed to an animal's clinic admission. Whether it is power lines, car accidents, poisoning cases, or illegal ownership, humans have a hand in many of the admissions that we see. TreeHouse has staff members and volunteers that will go on rescue calls to pick up wildlife in need. Many of our patients are brought to us by the Department of Natural Resources, police officers, and animal control, but a bulk of our patients are brought to our clinic by the general public. So let's go over the basics on how to deal with an injured or orphaned wild animal that you find. If you come across an animal that you think may be in need of help, first assess the situation, like this gentleman is doing. Then contact your nearest wildlife rehabilitator as soon as possible so that you can avoid any unnecessary injury or stress to that animal. All right, so we have our friend John Doe here calling some rehabilitators over, and they brought the whole crew out to check out this owl. And, okay, I'm going to say that they're probably not rehabilitators, and let's talk about the first issue that they are definitely doing here. As animal lovers ourselves, we completely understand how cool it is to see a wild animal in its natural environment. But remember, that animal that you are surrounding right now is not feeling well, and so the best thing for you to do to mitigate any further stress or injury is to contact a rehabber and not post a picture on Instagram first. All right, so I'm going to give this group the benefit of the doubt that they did contact a rehabilitator and they're planning on bringing it to that person, but I did want to highlight something. The best thing for you to do if you are bringing an animal to rehabber is not to handle it with your bare hands or allow people to touch it. This is because the animal is not used to being handled by people, and that means that it will defend itself with teeth, talons, and beaks if stressed enough. The best thing for you to do is to talk to your rehabber on how to safely and properly handle that animal before bringing it. You know, lovely group is feeding this owl its proper diet of taco shells, white rice, and what I'm going to assume is probably a granola bar in the back. And, wait for it, we'll probably get some water here too. Yep, they're going to drown in water. All right, folks, let's talk about our next issue. For the love of all things furred, feathered, and the sanity of the rehabilitator, please do not feed that animal anything before you bring it to the rehabber, because you are going to cause so much more issues for that animal than already need be. That animal is not feeling well, and you're going to shock its system, regardless of what you're feeding it, before it's ready to actually consume any type of food. I have literally lost all faith in humanity with this group. I don't even know where the container went that they originally put that owl in. Regardless of what species that animal is, please keep it contained in something that it cannot get out of. And actually, you may not know, but it's best not to play music when you're taking that animal to a rehabber. I'm sure that's what these people are doing right now. They're on their way, and nope, apparently we're on a joyride, and now we're playing with pets. Unless you want a vet bill on your hands for your own pet, we suggest not allowing your dog or cat to get in contact with that wild animal that you're attempting to save. If you are as tired of hearing my voice as I am of hearing it, let's quickly go back to the beginning and talk about what John Doe should have done. As you can see, a licensed professional has finally been contacted and has chosen to come out and rescue the owl herself. She's utilizing gloves to protect herself as well as the owl, and is choosing to place the owl in a pet crate, which is a great choice in transportation. Rehabbers appreciate when individuals can bring the animals to them, but make sure to call first before you show up so that you can receive the proper instruction and information that you need to make the rescue as smooth as possible. When the animal finally reaches the rehabber, that's when the magic of rehabilitation begins. TreeHouse cares for many different species of mammals, birds, and reptiles. But just like most other rehabilitation centers and vet clinics, there are certain species that we currently do not accept. So let's address our next Ask a Rehabber question asked by an individual named Julia. She inquires, why don't you take raccoons, rabbits, or bats? This is a common question that we receive, and we understand the confusion and frustration we sometimes get. As much as we wish we could care for these animals, we currently do not have the proper setup at our clinic, the funds, or the manpower to accept these species. This also includes songbirds. Illinois unfortunately outlaws the rehabilitation of bats and skunks, and thus we cannot legally accept those. Remember to call first before bringing an animal, just in case it involves one of these species. But don't worry, we will do our best to put you in contact with another local licensed professional who can help you with your situation. Thanks for watching, and see you next time on Ask a Rehabber.